The real risk with AI isn't malice, but competence. A superintelligent AI will be extremely good at accomplishing its goals. And if those goals aren't aligned with ours, we're in trouble. People need to understand that current AI and the AI we can foresee in the reasonable future does not and will not have a moral sense or moral understanding of what is right and what is wrong.
John Lennox explains Christians living with AI. Is it possible, or will we eventually just collapse and blow up? Let me tell you guys, this is absolutely fascinating. John Lennox is an absolutely brilliant teacher, mathematician all around, has amazing books. Shout out to him and all the amazing things that he has done. So let's get right into it.
To live with AI. Because the same facial recognition that's used for picking out criminals in a crowd is being used to suppress minorities, in particular the minority Muslim population of Uyghurs in Xinjiang in northwest China. And that intensive surveillance is intrusive to a colossal extent, and is being exported all over China and possibly eventually to the West. Autonomous weapons we're familiar with, and also the threat to democracy from deep fakes. And Ken McCallum, who's the Director General of MI5 in the UK, says the fabric of society could be undermined by AIs impersonating real people so that it would no longer be possible to distinguish truth from falsehood. Deepfake technology is a threat to democracy and could be harnessed by hostile states to sow confusion and disinformation at the next general election.
Think about this, guys. In the end times, there would be no place to hide with AI, the intelligence of surveillance, AI surveillance, being able to track every single move, to use every statistic, to use every camera, Wi-Fi, satellites to know exactly what you're doing, whether you're a Christian or not, whether you have the mark or not, whatever that might mean, they will know whether you are a Christian or not. Think about that. That is all becoming possible with AI. And I just remember thinking about 2 years ago of just this thing called ChatGPT, or the pictures, you could just type in a word and you just write something down and then it would create a picture. And now this is the entire world we live in just 2 years ago. Now, oh my goodness. How has life changed? What role do you think AI will play for the end times? Do you think this will just like push it further? I do.
And when we think of the existing AI, one of its leaders, Joshua Bendigo, wrote about the morality of AI systems. People need to understand that current AI and the AI we can foresee in the reasonable future does not and will not have a moral sense or moral understanding of what is right and what is wrong. And when we think about the question, what we can live with, my mind immediately goes back to two famous dystopias, George Orwell's 1984 and Huxley's Brave New World. And a brilliant analysis of those two books was given by Neil Postman, who said Orwell warns that we will be overcome by an externally imposed oppression. But in Huxley's vision, no big brother is required to deprive people of their autonomy, maturity, and history. People will come to love their oppression and to adore the technologies that undo their capacities to think. Orwell feared that what we hate will ruin us. Huxley feared that what we love will ruin us.
There's so many people who can't live without ChatGPT already. Just think about how hard it is to drive without your GPS. And now all of our cognitive functions are just being brushed aside. Whenever we need an answer, ChatGPT. Whenever we don't know how to do something, ChatGPT. If we don't need to learn, ChatGPT will do it for us. And what if we get so dependent on that, that becomes our God? What if ChatGPT is the Antichrist? I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying it. But it's a thought that we need to be thinking about.
And at the present time, we are in a love-hate relationship with our technologies. Both things appear to be happening on the grand scale simultaneously. And some time ago, the brilliant entomologist wrote this. E.O. Wilson, the real problem of humanity is the following. We have Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technology, and it's terrifically dangerous. Until we answer those huge questions of philosophy that the philosophers abandoned a couple of generations ago, where do we come from? Who are we? Where are we going? Rationally, we are on very thin ground. Those are the three big questions that the philosopher Immanuel Kant asked. E.O. Wilson is wrong, of course. There are many serious philosophers dealing with precisely those questions. Where do we come from? Who are we? And where are we going? And where we're going, in the opinion of some, is towards artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which involves building an AI system that equals or exceeds human capacities. In other words, constructing a superintelligence. So we're in the realm of transhumanism.
Have you guys seen Grok 4? Elon Musk's new AI, artificial intelligence, where it has amazing process abilities. It's mind-blowing. It's smarter than any human. It's going to get a perfect score on every test, every time. Like, it's passing the human mind.
Now, if that were simply a statement coming from the science fiction area, we would probably all ignore it. But this kind of thinking is part and parcel of some of the statements of the most brilliant scientists on our planet. One of them from this country is Lord Rees, the UK astronomer royal. He wrote, "We can have zero confidence that the dominant intelligences a few centuries hence will have any emotional resonance with us, even though they may have an algorithmic understanding of the way we behaved." So if we ask the question, can we live with AI, you will find a whole palette of scenarios, all of them coming from highly intelligent people. So here's a sample. Stephen Hawking, the late brilliant genius from Cambridge. The real risk with AI isn't malice, but competence. A superintelligent AI will be extremely good at accomplishing its goals. And if those goals aren't aligned with ours, we're in trouble. Eliezer Yudkowsky of the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, if somebody builds a too powerful AI under present conditions, I expect that every single member of the human species and all biological life on Earth dies shortly thereafter. And that kind of view, which is at one extreme, has led to pressure from the Center for AI Safety to mitigate the risk of extinction. And this, they write on their website, should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks, such as pandemics and nuclear war. But on the other hand, there are highly intelligent voices saying something very different. Jobst, Landgrebe, and Barry Smith wrote a book, Why Machines Will Never Rule the World. Artificial Intelligence Without Fear. And they argue that just as physics shows the impossibility of constructing a perpetual motion machine, so the mathematics of complex systems show that it is not possible, nor will it be, to engineer AGI machines, even at the cognitive level of a crow, and that therefore the singularity will never happen. I'm very sympathetic.
That's a cognitive level of a crow? I don't know. And guys, I'm going to be playing a video of Grok 4 and how amazing the technology is at the end here.
As a mathematician, actually, to that viewpoint, and it's supported by one of the most brilliant mathematicians on the planet who lives in this city, Sir Roger Penrose. So, what some are saying, and this is the most famous scientific journal in the world, Nature, in June 2023, it's time to talk about the known risks of AI. Forget machine doomsday. What's needed is effective regulation to limit the societal harms artificial intelligence is already causing. And I emphasize that statement because I think it's one of the most important things for us to think about. Away from the hype and the apparent science fiction, we've already got so far that there are huge dangers to society. And here is Nir Isikovitz in the Scientific American not long ago. AI won't blow up.
Before we get into John Lennox's perspective on if we can live with AI or not, I'm going to show you some things that Grok has the capacity to do.
What if I told you there's a new AI model that might be smarter than a PhD? Introducing Grok 4,
Wow.
the latest breakthrough from XAI, and, according to Elon Musk, the most powerful AI model in the world. During a live stream event, Grok 4 didn't just launch, it dominated. In the event, XAI hosted a voice battle between ChatGPT and Grok 4. And here's what happened.
Hey, I'm going to say a number, and can you say the same number back to me? 1.
1, got it. This is like a fun little game of echo. What's next?
2. Sorry, I said 2. 3.
3. Nice and steady. What's next?
So you can see the processing level of Grok 4 is 10 times faster than ChatGPT. But you just wait until ChatGPT. It's just all a race, going back and forth.
5.
5. Nailed it. This is pretty fun, actually. Feel free to keep going or switch it up if you'd like.
Hey, Grok.
Hello there. How can I help you today?
We're going to do a little test. Can you repeat after me? 1,
1. All right. What's next?
2,
2. What's on your mind?
3,
3. Need anything else?
4,
4. How can I assist you?
5.
5. What's next?
ChatGPT's voice got interrupted after every input, while Grok 4 followed the conversation step by step. No interruptions, more natural, more human, more impressive. They also tested Grok 4's AI voice, and it sounded shockingly confident. Then came the whisper test, and even singing opera. Yes, Grok 4 sang opera. The result, mind-blowing.
Oh, I'm thrilled, really. It's like being on stage at the Old Vic with a sea of faces out there. Just imagine all those eyes and ears tuned in. It's a proper buzz, isn't it? What do you reckon we should chat about to keep this lot entertained?
You know, we have a lot to talk about, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little nervous. Can you whisper something soothing to calm me down?
Take a deep breath, love. You've got this. It's just you.
That's crazy. Wow. Oh my goodness. The idea that this can have interactions with humans, personal interactions with humans, is intimate reactions with humans, is just crazy. So now let's go back.
In AI, he has several principles for living with AI. First of all, restrict an AI system's goals only to maximizing the realization of human goals. Secondly, keep the AI uncertain about what those goals are so that it must keep asking. Insist that the AI tries to understand the nature of those goals by constant observation of human behavior. And there is a plethora of rules being rolled out from various sources because it's quite obvious that the regulation problem is related to the control problem. And we can't regulate what we can't control. And some people are very worried about it. Now, another brilliant scientist, a brilliant physicist who's involved in this, raises this question. Are we really in an unavoidable battle with an AI monster to stay alive? Listen to much of the debate, and you could be forgiven for thinking so. Physics professor at MIT, I think, and he has written a book called Life 3.0. And it's really a fascinating book because what he does is project into the future the possible scenarios if we are to develop AGI, which in my and many other people's minds is highly questionable. And he has a whole range of possible scenarios. But the one he spends most time on and it fascinated me when I read it, is the so-called Omega Project, in which a leader takes over the entire world so that there is a global government, an idea that has been suggested by many leaders in the past and is the aspiration of many leaders in the current world. This great controlling power gets a hold of the economy of the world, and it does it this way. With the excuse of fighting crime and terrorism and rescuing people suffering medical emergencies, everybody could be required to wear a security bracelet that combines the functionality of an Apple Watch with continuous uploading of position, health, status, and conversations overheard.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Man, this is wild. This is crazy. This is an easy form for the Antichrist to control mankind, to try to, at least. And it's wild to think one of the creators of AI and these tech businesses is like warning, oh, the Antichrist is going to use artificial intelligence, of course. And then later on, he gets questions. He's like, so aren't you just enabling the Antichrist? And he's like, no, I don't know. But that's so crazy. But it is signs of the end times that Jesus will return, and that's what we want. We want Jesus to return.
Unauthorized attempts to remove or disable it would cause it to inject a lethal toxin into the forearm.
Oh.
Now, when I read that, it reminded me of a much more ancient scenario that occurs, believe it or not, in the book of Revelation, because it also talks about a future world government. And my argument is very simple. If we're going to take seriously the kind of thing that people like Max Tegmark are saying about the future, I say, well, look, before you reject it, listen carefully to what the book of Revelation and the biblical worldview has to say. Now I'm going to plunge straight into this. And I saw a beast rising out of the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 diadems on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads. And the whole earth marveled as they followed the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, a symbol for Satan, for he had given his authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like the beast, and who can fight against it? That is the wild monster from the sea, but there's another one, a wild monster from the earth. Then I saw another beast or wild thing rising out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It exercises all the authority of the first beast in its presence, and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast. It deceives those who dwell on the earth, telling them to make an image for the beast that was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image might even speak and might cause those who would not worship the image of the beast to be slain.
I just got it. What if the image of the beast is the AI, the artificial intelligence, in this Antichrist gives the image of the beast life, and he's able to speak. He's almost human-like. He's almost like a person. He's not made in the image of God. He's made in the image of the beast, the counterfeit God. The counterfeit, that's all the enemy, that's all the devil tries to do. He tries to be like God. He tries to do everything like him, but it's always counterfeit, and it's always falling short, and that's the problem. That is the problem. And something that we need to be worried about, or not. We don't need to be worried, I guess. But it's something that we need to pay attention to and know that God, and know that we are in end times and we need to be ready for the coming of age. So that's fascinating stuff for sure. Daniel 12:4 says, But you, Daniel, the prophecy a secret. Seal up the book until the time of the end, when many will rush here and there, and knowledge will increase. I don't know about you guys, but knowledge has been increasing like never before as artificial intelligence is on the rise. But we need to be ready, and we need to be seeking Jesus more than ever before. Because the Bible says that Jesus will come like a thief in the night. No one will be ready. A blink of an eye. No one will be ready. They won't see it coming. So that's why we always got to be seeking Jesus and having an amazing relationship with him more than ever before. So go to him today. In the description below, you could click a link to help you to decide to follow Jesus for the first time. I encourage you to do that today. It will be the best decision you could ever make. Anyway, guys, always remember, Jesus loves you.